सॅनिटाईज केलाय का हे? झाले का रे जॉईन?
हो हो.
कुठं हो, 11 लोक, फक्त 10 लोक जॉईन झाले. अजून कुठे 10 लोक? It's okay, can't wait for others. So let me continue from the last lecture that we were discussing about the splitting of energy term under crystal field. Okay, octahedral as well as tetrahedral crystal field. So we have studied little bit that there is one-to-one correspondence between the splitting of orbital and the splitting of energy term under crystal field. Okay, since there is no splitting of s orbital in the octahedral or cubic crystal field, there will be no splitting of s orbital or s term. Okay, so s term will be simply transformed to a1g. A stands for singly degenerate. Okay, or and 1 stand for symmetric with c2 axis, and g stands for g-rate. So a1g, s orbit, s term will be transformed into a1g according to Mulliken. Okay, since there is no splitting of p orbital, there will be also no splitting of p energy term. Okay, so according to Mulliken, p term will be transformed to t1g. T1g stands for triply degenerate. Okay, triply degenerate states. Okay, so t1g, t stands for triply degenerate, 1 stands for symmetric with c2 axis perpendicular to cn, that is per principal axis, and g stands for symmetric with respect to center of inversion. Okay, so p term will be transformed to t1g. As you know, there is a splitting of d orbital under cubic crystal field or octahedral crystal field. Hence, the capital D term will also be splitted into two sets. Okay, which are those two sets, EG and T2G. So, what is the difference between the splitting of d orbital and splitting of energy term? There is one difference, and that is orbital splitting is denoted by small letters, whereas the splitting of energy term is denoted by capital letter. Okay, so you have to use capital wherever capital letter is used. That means they are that means the discussion is related to energy terms. Okay, not related to splitting of orbital. So capital D term will be splitted into capital EG plus capital T2G. Okay, so E stands for doubly degenerate and T stands for triply degenerate. Okay, then F orbital. So we have not studied the splitting of F orbital under cubic crystal field. Okay, but if you carefully go through the books, there is splitting of F orbital under cubic crystal field. Okay, though it was not a part of syllabus, but for higher study it is a part of syllabus. Okay, so splitting of F orbital कैसे होती है? F term, F orbitals are 7 types. Okay, they are 7 types. Okay, so out of that 7 s orbital, 7 f orbital, one is symmetric spherical shape, and two remaining 6 orbitals are divided into two sets. Okay, so t1g and t2g, t1g and t2g. Okay, so T1g means those three sets of f orbital will be perpendicular about C2 axis, which is perpendicular to Cn, and remaining three sets of f orbital will not be symmetric with C2 axis. Okay, hence the letter 2 is used. One means symmetric with C2, two means not symmetric with C2. Okay, so their 7 orbitals are categorized in three sets. One is A1G, A2G, another one is T1G, and third one is T2G. Okay, so as there is one-to-one correspondence between the splitting of orbital and splitting of energy term, F term will also be splitted into three sets. What are those three sets? A2G, T1G, and T2G. A2G, T1G, and T2G. A2 means 2 means non-central, not symmetric with C2 axis. Okay, not symmetric with C2 axis, which is perpendicular to principal axis. So this was the splitting of F term. Then you have also splitting up G term. So G orbital भी रहता है hypothetical. If you consider G orbitals will be total 9 in numbers, and those 9 G orbitals are categorized into 4 sets. Okay, which are those 4 sets? A1G, EG, small A1G, small EG, small T1G, and small T2G. Okay, small A1G, small A1G, small EG, small T1G, and small T2G. For what? For G orbital. So since there is one-to-one correspondence between the splitting of orbital and splitting of energy term, capital G energy term will also be splitted into 4 sets. Okay, because G orbitals splits into 4 sets. What are those 4 sets? T1G, EG, A1G, EG, T1G, and T2G. Okay, so what are those symbols that I will explain in the next slide? Okay, so here are the meaning of symbol which are used here. Okay, so this symbol were derived by Mulliken, and according to Mulliken, A stands for non-degenerate orbital. Now what is meant by non-degenerate orbital? So wherever there is a multiple system of same energy. Okay, so those multiple system of same energy are called as degenerate system, Okay, for example, let us take an example of p orbital. So p orbitals are of three types: px, py, and pz. But since all the three p orbitals, they are what you say, symmetric in nature. Okay, all the 3p orbitals are symmetric in nature, hence all the 3p orbitals will have same energy. Okay, so those type of system having same energy are called as degenerate system. What will be the meaning of non-degenerate system? So the system which is having different energy, are non-degenerate orbitals. Okay, so A stands for non-degenerate orbital, and it must be symmetric with respect to principal axis. Okay, so what is meant by principal axis? प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस का उदाहरण समझने के लिए आपको एक मिनट, मैं थोड़ा सा एक मिनट में बॉक्स लेके आता हूँ. Yeah. So I will stop sharing. You have to look camera. Okay, कैमरे पर फोकस करो सब लोग. मेरे स्क्रीन के ऊपर फोकस करना है। सो आपको BF3 पता है? BF3 बोरान ट्राइफ्लोराइड, सबको पता है बोरान ट्राइफ्लोराइड, है ना? व्हाट इज द ज्योमेट्री ऑफ बोरान ट्राइफ्लोराइड?
Plane, trigonal, planar.
Trigonal planar geometry, very good. Okay, so this trigonal planar geometry is similar to the fan है ना, सीलिंग फैन, जिसके 3 ब्लेड रहते हैं, ओके, एक ही प्लेन में।
एक ही प्लेन में।
हाँ, ये देखो, ये ट्राइगोनल प्लेनर ज्योमेट्री है। See that, isn't it trigonal planar geometry? Yes. For example, it is not.
Yes, sir.
So this is trigonal planar geometry. Now, if I hold this like this position, okay, याला असं होल्ड केलं मी, असं अशा पद्धतीने होल्ड केलेलं आहे, तर या दोन पिवळ्या लाईन्स आहेत, त्यांच्यामधलं अँगल किती आहे? 120 डिग्री, 120 डिग्री आणि 120 डिग्री, बरोबर आहे? 120, 120 and 120, total 360 degree. Now what will happen if suppose I take an imaginary axis? If I take imaginary axis which is just like a line, okay, and if that line passes through the center of a molecule, passes through center of a molecule like this and perpendicular to the plane of molecule, isn't it? Molecule का plane कौन सा है? ये वाला है. This is the plane of molecule, horizontal plane, and this is a vertical plane, okay. So if I consider molecule vertically, so if I pass line horizontally through the center of a molecule, okay, and about this line, if I rotate the molecule, about this line, if I rotate the molecules through an angle of 120 degree, okay, क्या होगा? देखो एक मिनट, doesn't matter. So see this. This is a black corner, this is a red corner, and this is a somewhat greenish corner, okay. Now if I pass an imaginary axis which is perpendicular to the plane of molecule and passing through center of a molecule, and about this imaginary axis if I rotate the molecule through an angle of 120 degree, through an angle of 120 degree, then what will happen? What will happen? Yes, what will happen? See, 120 डिग्री से मैं इसका रोटेशन कर रहा हूं, ओके, किया मैंने 120 डिग्री से रोटेशन. Yes, black was vertical and I rotate the molecule about this axis which has passed through the horizontal plane, okay, and through the center of a molecule through an angle of 120 degree. तो क्या होगा? ब्लैक वाला ये साइड में आएगा, पहले वो यहाँ पे था, बराबर है, फिर ये इस पोजीशन पे आएगा, और रेड वाला ब्लैक की जगह पे था तो अब इधर हो गया है, और ये ग्रीन वाला रेड पे जगह पे था तो वो ऊपर चले गया, बराबर है. तो ये 120 डिग्री का रोटेशन हुआ. फिर मैं मॉलिक्यूल को दूसरे 120 डिग्री के रोटेशन से रोटेट कर रहा हूँ, फिर थर्ड टाइम again I am rotating the molecule through an angle of 120 degree. Okay, so how many rotations I made? 3 rotations of equal angle, that is 120 degree I made, isn't it? So what you observed, molecule gained equivalent position or original position. So if after rotation I am getting a equivalent position, if I am getting equivalent or similar position, okay, then molecule is said to be symmetric about that axis. Okay, so what is that axis? So angle through which it is rotated divided by 360 degree. So 120 degree का angle है divided by 360, sorry, 360 divided by 120. Okay, so how much it is? 360 divided by 120, 3 है ना?
3.
3. So
Yes, sir.
हाँ, so in such case molecule is said to be symmetric with respect to C3 axis. Okay, if molecule is symmetric with respect to C2 axis, that means rotation about 180 degree, then the molecules possess C2 axis. So this trigonal planar molecule possess C3 axis. Okay, it possess C3 axis. Okay, like this. देखो 120 के रोटेशन से 3 रोटेशन करने के बाद मॉलिक्यूल इक्विवेलेंट पोजीशन गेन कर रहा है, isn't it? कैसे? If I pass a horizontal plane, sorry, imaginary line or axis which is passing through the center of a molecule and perpendicular to the plane of molecule. Okay, so molecule, this molecule BF3 molecule has C3 axis. Okay, so how many such C3 axes are present in the molecule? Only one. Only one C3 axis is present. Okay, now along with this C3, this BF3 molecule is perpendicular with C2 also. This BF3 molecule is perpendicular to C2. C2 means the second order axis. Okay, C axis, and C stands for principal axis. C stands for C. This C3 stands for principal axis. Okay, so second order principal C axis, third order C axis, fourth order C axis. ऐसे different type orders के axis रहते हैं. Okay, now consider another imaginary line. Consider another imaginary line which is passing through this one, red one. Okay, this red ball and the center, इनके बीच में से जा रही है. Okay, which bisect the molecule into two equal half like this. ऐसे two equal half में bisect की है. और if I rotate the molecule through an angle of 180 degree, तो ये एक ब्लैक वाला इधर जाता है और ग्रीन वाला इधर आ जाता है. फिर से और एक बार 180 डिग्री से रोटेट किया तो फिर से ओरिजिनल पोजीशन आ गई. बराबर है? ओरिजिनल पोजीशन आ गई ना. पहले 180 डिग्री रोटेट किया, ओरिजिनल पोजीशन ऐसी थी पहले. ओके, ओरिजिनल पोजीशन ऐसी थी. अब इसको मैंने ऐसा रोटेट किया 180 डिग्री से, तो इक्विवेलेंट पोजीशन आ गई, इधर का उधर और उधर का इधर. और फिर से मैंने उसको 180 डिग्री से रोटेट किया तो और ओरिजिनल पोजीशन आ गई, है ना. तो व्हाट डज इट मीन्स? दैट मीन्स आई मेड अ रोटेशन थ्रू 180 डिग्री. So how many such rotation I made? 2 times, 180 plus 180, total 360. Okay, so this axis will be of second order. Why? Because 360 divided by 180 will be 2. So this molecule is again symmetric with respect to C2 axis. Okay, C2 axis. क्यों? क्योंकि 360 divided by 180 कितना होता है? 2. Okay, so order of axis will be second order. Okay, so this molecule is having one C2 axis which passes through red and center. Again this molecule will be having another C2 which is passing through green and this center. And again this molecule will be having third C2 which is passing through this black ball and the center. Okay, so how many C2 axes are there? 3 C2 axes. how many C3 axis are present? Only one. Okay, so ये अलग एक्सिस है, तो यही कहना है उसका मूल्यांकन का कि सिमेट्रिक विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस। अब प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस कौन सा होता है? देखो अभी मैंने BF3 में एग्जाम्पल बताया। BF3 में क्या होता है? C3 एक्सिस भी है जो सेंटर से पास होता है परपेंडिकुलर टू हॉरिजॉन्टल प्लेन एंड पासेस थ्रू सेंटर, और दूसरा एक्सिस C2 होता है जो किसी भी एक साइड से और सेंटर से पास होके मॉलिक्यूल को टू इक्वल हाफ में डिवाइड करता है या बाइसेक्ट करता है, बराबर है। तो C2 and C3, these are the two different axes present in this molecule. So whenever multiple axes are present, the axis of higher order is always a principal axis. Okay, wherever the different axes are present, so at that time the axis with higher order or highest order is called as principal axis. Okay, so that was this Mulliken saying that A is the symbol used for non-degenerate orbital, and that non-degenerate orbital should be symmetric with respect to principal axis. Okay, and then Mulliken use another letter B. So what does this B stands for? Non-degenerate orbital again, but this time it is unsymmetrical with respect to principal axis. Okay, non-degenerate orbital symmetric with respect to principal axis Cn, symbol A is used, and for non-degenerate orbital which is unsymmetrical with respect to principal axis, symbol B is used. Okay, now this doubly degenerate orbital. Okay, doubly degenerate matlab there will be two different systems both having same energy, that is called as doubly degenerate. So E stands for that E. Okay, then T stands for triply degenerate orbital. Okay, then सबस्क्रिप्ट म्हणजे जे बॉटमला असते ते. ओके, राईट साइड बॉटमला जे असतं त्याला म्हणतात सबस्क्रिप्ट. ओके, लेफ्ट आणि जे टॉपला असतं त्याला म्हणतात सुपरस्क्रिप्ट. So this subscript G is used when the system is symmetric with respect to center of inversion, and subscript U is used when the system is unsymmetrical with respect to center of inversion. Okay, subscript 1 is used when it is symmetric with respect to C2 axis which is perpendicular to Cn, and subscript 2 is used when the system is unsymmetrical with respect to C2 axis which is perpendicular to Cn. Okay, तर मॉलिक्यूल मध्ये काय असायला पाहिजे? प्रिन्सिपल ऍक्सिस असायला पाहिजे आणि त्या प्रिन्सिपल ऍक्सिस सोबत C2 ऍक्सिस असायला पाहिजे. जर असेल तर 1, नसेल तर 2. ओके, अशा पद्धतीचे वेगवेगळे सिम्बॉल्स वापरले जातात, त्याला मुलिकन सिम्बॉल म्हणतात. ओके, सुपरस्क्रिप्ट प्राइम जर असेल तर symmetric with respect to horizontal plane sigma h, and again superscript double prime जर असेल तर unsymmetrical with respect to the plane sigma h. Okay, so these are the Mulliken symbol which needs to be remembered. Okay, ये हमेशा ध्यान में रखना, इसको भूलना नहीं. तो ये Mulliken symbol आने के बाद में अब हमारा स्प्लिटिंग ऑर्डर भी देख लिया. देख लिया, स्प्लिटिंग देख लिया है ना. तो 1-to-1 करस्पॉन्डेंस होता है, जैसे ऑर्बिटल का स्प्लिटिंग होता है वैसे ही टर्म का स्प्लिटिंग होता है. ओके, तब आते हैं एक एक का स्प्लिटिंग पढ़ते हैं. अब हम पढ़ेंगे मुलिकन सिंबल के नोटेशन. ये इस तरीके से एक मुलिकन सिंबल यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है A1G. तो A1G में A stands for symmetric with respect to principal axis. Okay, non-degenerate system symmetric with respect to principal axis. Okay, prime अगर रहता है यहाँ पे सुपरस्क्रिप्ट पे तो वो symmetric with respect to sigma h. डबल प्राइम रहता है तो unsymmetrical with respect to sigma h. And this subscript 1 means it is perpendicular to symmetric with respect to C2 axis perpendicular to C3, and G stands for center of inversion. Okay, symmetric with respect to center of inversion. After that, this is the what you say splitting of d orbital and splitting of d term. Okay, so consider this d1 system. Consider this d1 system. For this d1 system, ground state term symbol is doublet d. Ground state term symbol is doublet d, and this doublet d will be split into two sets, T2G set and EG set. Okay, so doublet T2G multiplicity will remain same. Okay, and it has to be retained in splitted orbital, or sorry, splitted term. So doublet D will be splitted into doublet T2G and doublet EG. Now what is the order of energy? Okay, what is the order of energies of splitting? अब देखो यहाँ पे D1 सिस्टम में डबलेट G जो है वो दो डिफरेंट टर्म्स में स्प्लिट हुई है। कौन से? T2G और EG, जिसमें T2G नीचे है और EG ऊपर है। But if you consider D9 system, so for the D9 system again, it has same ground state term according to whole formalism. Okay, so doublet D, but this time T2G went upper and EG is at lower. Okay, EG नीचे है और T2G ऊपर है, तो ये कंफ्यूजिंग है आपको, कंफ्यूजिंग है ना? तो इसको कैसे याद रखें? तो इसको याद रखने के लिए एक ट्रिक है कि यू हैव टू कंसिडर टू फिनोमेना, वन इज इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रमोशन एंड सेकंड वन इज होल इन्वर्शन। मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ आप लोगों को सुनाई दे रहा है क्या?
यस सर।
हाँ
Yes, sir.
हाँ, ठीक है ठीक है, किसी एक का जवाब आ गया मतलब यू आर लिसनिंग। सो यू हैव टू कंसिडर two terminologies. Okay, so that two terminologies I will explain now. One is electron promotion, and another one is hole formalism. Electron promotion and hole inversion. Hole inversion. Okay, so what is electron promotion? Suppose consider this D1 system, and in this D1 system you have two different sets of orbital T2G and EG. Okay, तो T2G में कौन से हैं? dxy, dyz and dxz. EG में कौन से हैं? dx square minus y square and dz square. ओके, तो ये दो ऑर्बिटल अलग अलग क्यों है? क्योंकि जो ऊपर वाला सेट है dx square minus y square and dz square, these two orbitals they are along the axis. Okay, along x y z axis, and these three T2G sets of orbital, that is dxy, dyz and dxz, they are present or oriented in between the axis. Okay, since they are present in between the axis, they are categorized in one group. Since they are present along the axis, they are categorized in another group. Okay, so this is your D1 system. D1 system. अब वन इलेक्ट्रॉन को हमको क्या करना है? इलेक्ट्रॉनिक स्पेक्ट्रा का स्टडी करना है। नाउ व्हाट इज मीन बाय इलेक्ट्रॉनिक स्पेक्ट्रा? दिस इज द पार्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी। ओके, तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी में क्या होता है? ड्यू टू एब्सॉर्प्शन ऑफ लाइट इन यूवी विजिबल रीजन, देयर इज द एक्साइटेशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन फ्रॉम ग्राउंड एनर्जी लेवल, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एनर्जी लेवल टू फर्स्ट एक्साइटेड एनर्जी लेवल। ओके, so here ground energy level कौन सी है? T2G, और first excited energy level कौन सी? EG. So from T2G to EG we have to excite the electron. Now excite the electron. So what happens after excitation? Excitation के बाद ये जो नीचे की T2G है ये T2G में कुछ भी नहीं बचेगा और EG में एक इलेक्ट्रॉन आ जाएगा, है ना, एक इलेक्ट्रॉन आ जाएगा। अब हमने इलेक्ट्रॉन कहाँ से एक्साइट किया था, इस ऑर्बिटल से एक्साइट किया था, है ना। तो लुक एट दैट ऑर्बिटल, look at that orbital. If the orbital from which electron is excited, after excitation of electron, if that orbital is same or similar to any one of the remaining two orbital, then that is called as electron promotion. That is called as electron promotion. So this is empty. So there are another two orbitals which are also empty. That means orbitals from which electron is excited is similar to both of them. That's why it is called as electron promotion. Okay. What is the electron promotion? After excitation of electron, the orbital from which electron is excited, if that orbital is same or similar to remaining any one of the two orbital, then the process is called as electron promotion. And if the excitation is happening according to electron promotion, then the order of splitting of D term will be same as that of crystal field splitting order. मतलब T2G नीचे, EG ऊपर. Okay. Then whole inversion. What is meant by whole inversion? So whole inversion के लिए आपको D9 सिस्टम कंसिडर करनी पड़ेगी. D9 सिस्टम में क्या होता है, अगेन सेम थिंग, T2G EG. तो T2G में कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन रहते हैं, 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहते हैं. एक बराबर है, 2 3, 6 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहते हैं. और EG में 3 रहते हैं. EG में 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहते हैं, वन पेयर्ड और दूसरा सिंगली फील्ड. So what happens during the excitation? You have to excite any one of the electrons. So excite this electron here. Okay. Any one, 6 में से कोई भी कर सकते हैं क्योंकि वो डिजेनरेट सिस्टम है, सेम एनर्जी की सिस्टम है, तो कौन सा भी इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्साइट कर सकते हो आप. और ये रियल एक्साइटेशन नहीं है, ये जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ आवर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ओके. सो आफ्टर एक्साइटेशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, EG के पास 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन चले जाएंगे. EG के पास 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन चले जाएंगे और T2G के पास 5 इलेक्ट्रॉन बच जाएंगे. T2G के पास 5 इलेक्ट्रॉन बच जाएंगे, isn't it? 5 में से जो लास्ट ऑर्बिटल है वो सिंगल फील्ड हो जाएगा. नाउ लुक एट दिस ऑर्बिटल. द ऑर्बिटल फ्रॉम विच इलेक्ट्रॉन इज एक्साइटेड, आफ्टर एक्साइटेशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन, is it similar to remaining two orbital or any one of the remaining two orbital? No, this is half or empty. Sorry, this is half or singly filled. Okay. So remaining two orbitals are full filled. This orbital is full filled. This orbital is fully filled. This is half filled. So after excitation, the third this electron orbital from which electron has been excited is different from remaining two orbital. So if after electronic excitation, the orbital from which electron is excited, if it is different or entirely different from remaining two orbitals, then the process of excitation is called as hole inversion. Process of excitation is called as hole inversion. And if the excitation of electron is happening according to hole inversion, then the order of splitting of D energy term is reverse to that of crystal field splitting order. What I said, अगर वो होल इन्वर्शन के जरिए एक्साइटेशन हो रहा है इलेक्ट्रॉन का, तो उस समय क्रिस्टल फील्ड स्प्लिटिंग का जो ऑर्डर रहता है डी ऑर्बिटल का, उससे अपोजिट ऑर्डर किसका रहता है, डी टर्म का रहता है. ओके. कब, होल इन्वर्शन जब होता है तब. ओके. होल इन्वर्शन है तो रिवर्स ऑर्डर, इलेक्ट्रॉन प्रमोशन है तो सेम ऑर्डर. ओके. सो देयर इज नो कंफ्यूजन. सो लुक एट हियर. D1 system. So for D1 system, For D1 system, AA is an energy term, and D1 system अभी बताया मैंने, excitation of electron is according to electron promotion, hence order will be written as that of crystal field splitting order, that means T2G नीचे EG ऊपर. But D9 में क्या होता है? D9 में excitation is happening according to Hall inversion, therefore order is reverse, EG नीचे T2G ऊपर. ओके, तो ये जो डिफरेंस है -4 डेल्टा ओ और ये +6 डेल्टा ओ, दैट विल रिमेन सेम. ओके, सो 10 dq और डेल्टा ओ विल बी टोटल एनर्जी डिफरेंस. ये वाला पूरा एनर्जी डिफरेंस 10 dq रहेगा और डेल्टा ओ रहेगा, ये वाला डेल्टा ओ रहेगा पूरा इतना लंबा. ठीक है, so I hope you understood. Now let us move toward D4 and D6. Now for D4 के लिए फिर से आप कैलकुलेट करते हैं. 3 मिनट बचे हैं, तो जितना होगा उतना देखते हैं D4 के लिए. ओके, D4 में चलो कैलकुलेट करो. क्या करते हो कैलकुलेट? क्या करना है, पहले एक्साइटेशन करके देखना है इलेक्ट्रॉन का, है ना. तो D ऑर्बिटल निकालो, T2G सेट निकालो, EG सेट निकालो. अब इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन कौन सा है? D4 है, तो 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन रहेंगे. 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन कैसे क्या रहते हैं? 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन कैसे क्या रहते हैं? ये इस तरीके से रहते हैं वहाँ, बराबर है. 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन अकॉर्डिंग टू हर्ट्ज रूल ऑफ मैक्सिमम स्पिन मल्टीप्लिसिटी, इलेक्ट्रॉन आर फर्स्ट सिंगली फील्ड. लाइट गेली